it's Tay back with another video, y'all. So today I was like, I want some tacos. So I was like, I might as well just, talk and eat, talk and eat. So we're gonna see how this goes. So bear with me. But so today's story time is gonna be about the time I got fired because my manager was messing with everybody named Mama up there at the job. Except for me though. But let's get into it. So this story time takes place like I don't even know, probably like maybe like 2019, 18. I don't know. But anyway, so I had started this new job. And you know what? Fuck it. I'm just gonna put the name out there. So I started this new job called Sky Patrol. Okay. So Sky Patrol. And so basically it was like what we were doing was like customer service. So basically all you doing is calling like different dealerships, or they're calling you saying like, hey, we need to order more trackers on our cars, because basically if you don't pay your payment, they're gonna look you up and come get you. So they used to be putting like trackers in the cars, and basically what my job is, Sky Patrol, is basically they like, designed it and everything, and then they would, sell it to different companies or whatever, blah, blah, blah. So that's what we was doing there. Mind you, I couldn't even get my feet in the door. I was only there for like 2 weeks before the dude started messing with people, and then it's a lot. So starts off, first day or whatever, and I'm gonna insert like pictures and stuff because I still got this stuff in my phone because like I had to talk to HR and everything. Like the shit was crazy. Okay, so oh, and mind you, you know what? Let me tell y'all what I got first. Let's get into that. Okay, so I went to Cajun Connection. If y'all are in the Dallas area, please go, because when I tell you their stuff is so good, like, ooh, these tacos is bomb. Like, so I was like, let me just pull out the camera. Okay, but the presentation, I'll put a picture in too, because the presentation wasn't all that, but as long as the food's good, I'm okay. Like, I don't care about no little vibrational plates. No, like, give me that food. Give it to me. So look. This is the birria tacos. When I tell y'all, I know y'all probably like, ugh, but bomb, like bomb. But I'm gonna insert pictures of all that. It's gonna be just a picture ass video at this point because I gotta put in the pictures of the videos of the job. So mind you, first day at the job. Let's get into that. So first day at the job, it's a little tough. I'll tell you that. Dang. So first day at the job. I'm getting good, getting good feelings about it because they put something on our desk, and it was like God bless you or something like that. Have a good morning or something, and it was just like stuff that you don't have to do. And jobs usually be real funny about you, talking about different stuff. So I was just like, oh, okay, like in my head, I'm like, all right, that's what's up. So then we get into training. First day. So training our manager, and he's like, hey y'all. So he tells us a little bit about him. You know how they introduce themselves, their background. So he tells us that he went to school to basically, like for religion and stuff like that. So I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense. That makes sense, right? Right? Follow me now. So like, that makes sense. Y'all, this man was, I don't know. I don't even have no words for it, honestly. So I just got to get into it, and y'all can figure out the words by yourself and make your own opinion. So I'm just here to state the facts, okay? I'm not here to just the facts. So first day or whatever, he's talking about his religion or whatever. First day was cool or whatever. They're kind of just like, really didn't even do anything on the computers. Really, they kind of just telling us what we gonna be doing, all that stuff. So I'm like, bet. At the time, this was the job that I've gotten paid the most. So I'm like, oh yeah, it's up. Like, yeah, this is easy. Is this? The manager cool? Like, it's what's up. Boy, was I wrong. Like, I fucking thought, like, so, everything's cool, Usually when I start a job, people like naturally, be cool with me because I'm not no mean person. So, I'm going to talk to you for the most part, And so one of the girls or whatever, we kind of clicked. And she was like, hey, she was like, what's your name? And I was just telling her whatever. And then the more and more we started talking, we figured out, bitch, we both Scorpio. So I was like, oh, okay, that's why we be here on some stuff, you know? So me and her, I need to give her a name. So I'm gonna call her Scorpio. So me and Scorpio, we real cool at this point. So everything's cool. I feel like I gotta get into the story and I can't even really eat. So I did my promotion. I'm gonna go ahead and put the pictures like I said. But right now I just need this. So yeah, at this point I got like one girl like, you know, we be cool with, you know, taking breaks with, you know, stuff like that. So, and at the time she lived in the same, like we both lived really close to the job. So it was just like, we might as well, sometimes we would go to her house for lunch or something like that, just to like get food and sit down somewhere and not be, you know, in the office environment or whatever. So we do that. So she, like I said, Scorpio is real cool. So then we meet another girl and we gonna call her Trouble, because that's exactly what she was. Like, why are you like this? Like, why can't you just make your money and go home? So, mind you, me and Scorpio are the same age too. So we like, dang, that's crazy. Like, that's really crazy. So, and Trouble, she is like maybe like 5 years older than us. Like at this point, too damn old. So, I forgot how we ended up. I think we had so me and Scorpio ended up going to lunch together, and she was basically like on some like, can I come? It ain't my house. So, you know, Scorpio was like, you can come. So she come. So she come with us or whatever, and she just started talking to us or whatever. And then, you know, we were like, okay, like she might actually be cool. She, you know, she seemed straight. Like, you know, we didn't know she was batshit crazy. But we was like, yeah, you know, she seemed cool.
That is not correct.
So this is probably like, mind you, we start the job on a Monday. We get to, this is like probably Thursday of that same week where we all, you know, basically it went from 2 to 3. So this is what I get for being friends with people like off the, you know, like on some weird stuff. Like, I just met y'all and I'm going to your house on lunch. Like, but now I don't talk to nobody. Now I am remote. I don't have no coworkers up at this house but me. Like, no. But anyways, so yeah, so basically we just, you know, at this point we becoming friends, going on, you know, lunch and stuff together, you know. And at this point on Friday, the next day, you know, so Trouble, she like basically like, y'all want to come over to my house, you know, we can drink or whatever. We like, I ain't got nothing else to do. Like, okay, bet. Like at this point, we all got a job now. We can celebrate something. Like, you know, times was looking hard for a minute. We was like, okay, bet, we good now. So we like, bet, we coming. And so she didn't live that far from the job either. Like probably literally like 2 minutes. So we was like, bet, like we literally gonna come straight there. So did that. You know, we got the bottle. You know, mind you, we were drinking 1800 coconut. 1800 coconut. So we drinking 1800 coconut. And she's basically like, mind you, this is Friday of the work week. Like we have only worked there one day at this point. One day. So she just like, you know, just like she was older than us, but like she acted like she was younger than us. So it was just like certain shit she said. Like I told you, me and Scorpio, we were already on the same course. So we just kind of like, I want to go home. What? Like, so she just talking and stuff, talking about, you know, how she not from, you know, Dallas, and she basically like, you know, how everybody she's ever been friends with did her so wrong. You like, now I'm starting to figure out like what it really is. So she like, yeah, everybody who you know, she's ever met did her wrong. So we just listening like, oh, okay, like that sucks. But at this point it's like she's drinking and it's just like she's telling us like this basically. She like, shot y'all, shot bitches. You know what them bitches did? So we're like, that's why we was both looking like, I want to go home, because it's like, what? Like, are we having fun? Are we turning up? Or are we consoling you about your old friends and how wrong they did you? Like, what? So basically, So we're drinking with her or whatever, and we go home. Like, it is what it is. We go home. So Monday, the next day, she like hanging around with us and stuff like that. We like, okay. So she tells us, she's like, y'all want to come over again? We was like, yeah, we'll come over again. So this is Monday, right? But we was like, we're not gonna be there too long or whatever, right? She was like, yeah, we could just drink real quick or whatever. Cause she was like, she had a boyfriend at this time, mind you. So she was like, yeah, she was like, I think my man gonna be home around, blah blah blah. Anyway, so we was like, okay, bet, like we gonna get up out of there. So y'all, we drinking or whatever. This lady tell us, she like, yeah, so y'all know, and we just gonna call him Slick Rick. So trouble, like y'all know Slick Rick? And we like, duh, bitch, he's our manager, like, duh. And she like, yeah, so basically he told me that he can basically if I do something for him, he can ensure my job and I'll be making the most money and all that. I'm just like, you just got this job, like, is that not enough? Like, what is he talking about? So she basically saying like, if she sleeps with him and stuff, like basically he will make sure she's getting different kind of commissions and different stuff, which I didn't even know that job had commission. They just told me it was hourly. So I was like, I definitely wasn't showing no cleavage in my interview because they didn't say the benefits was that. So I was just like, oh, okay. Like, me and Scorpio just like, oh, okay. Mind you, this is all volunteered information. We ain't sitting there asking her nothing because, as far as we know, she has a boyfriend. So it's like, and even if she didn't have a boyfriend, we not expecting you to talk to our manager who got, like, he wasn't even a looker. That's why I was like, bruh, like, what? Like, so anyway, she's like, yeah. She was like, so basically, so she pulls out her backpack. This bitch pulls out a second phone from her backpack and she was like, yeah, he got me this phone. I was like, bitch, we just started. Like, we haven't even got our first check. Like, what? Mind you, this is on a Monday. And she was like, yeah, she was like, we be going to the extended stay on Wednesdays. Plural. Wednesdays. We have had one Wednesday here. Like, what? So at this point, me and Scorpio are really confused. We were like, bro, what is you on? And then the part that really made us mad, we was like, bro, whenever he introduced himself to us, he said that he went to school for religion. He was a pastor. And this man said that he was married and just welcomed a child. So we really looking at her sideways now, like, why are you telling us this? Like, I don't want to know. Like, don't y'all hate when somebody just tell y'all some information you did not ask for that you really did not, like, you don't want to know? So it's just like, what am I supposed to do with that? Like, now I can't look at either one of y'all the same. Like, why would you do that? Like, so yeah, so basically she like saying it like it's nothing too. So we just like, yeah, character flaw. Like that's what I'm thinking. But I'm like, character flaw bet. So we kind of like, I mean, we wasn't acting funny, but it was just like she asked us the next day, Tuesday, she was like, hey, y'all want to come drink? We was like, no, I'm good. But I really had something to do because, at this point, I'm like, I got other friends. And at this point, they think I'm fake because I'm hanging out with my work friends. And I only been here a week. So, you know how that goes. So my friends, they on my ass like, you get a new job and you forget about us. You forget you got real friends. I'm like, but they was right because this girl wasn't it. So... So basically, we like, yeah, we busy or whatever. So that was on Tuesday. Wednesday come around and she like, mind you, we're not the only girls at the job, of course, but we're just the only ones that are kind of cool. But there's another girl now, and we're gonna call her Shady because what she did was so shady. And it's so crazy because how the whole situation came about. They needed me at the end. That's why I was just like, nah. But anyway, so Shady, she started saying some stuff to me on break. Mind you, I don't know if I just have like a welcoming face, but people I be just meeting, be coming up to me and telling me their whole business. They be like, hi, how are you? I'll be like, I'm good, how are you? Mind you, this is just like maybe holding the door, like, oh, okay, thank you. No, no problem. Have a good day. You too. Because, man, I tell you, my dog just died, and then my grandma fell, and then my aunt couldn't help her because she was high on the couch. And I don't understand. Like, I'm never holding the door for nobody again. Like, stuff like that be happening to me. So, we on break, and she asked me if I got a lighter. So, I give her a lighter. And she starts talking. She was like, girl, she was like, does the manager seem weird to you? And I'm just like, I don't really talk to him. Like, I don't know, like, he introduced himself. If I got a question, I ask him, but for the most part, other people be around. He don't really be around here. So I'm like, nah, not really. She like, she was like, cause girl, he gonna pull me to the side and ask if I'm having any trouble with the job. She was like, I'm telling him I'm just kind of, learning it. And he said that if I am, I could let him know and he could really help me out. She was like, but that sounded so weird. And I'm just like, but my name is Bennett and I ain't in it. So I'm not finna tell her what Trouble told me. So I'm just like, oh, that's weird. I was like, keep an eye on it. Like, Bennett ain't in it. Like, I'm not gonna tell you what this girl told me. That's why how the whole situation like went about pissed me off. Cause it was like, bro, what? Like, I wasn't even gonna say nothing. I was just gonna make my money and hush my mouth because I didn't ask for this information in the first place, So I'm kind of just like, all right, whatever. So I'm just like in the back of my head, like, that's weird. Mind you, that is on Wednesday. So also on Wednesday, extended stay on Wednesdays. So we noticed that Trouble ain't there. Why is she not there? Because she had the extended stay. And then my manager, his excuse for not being there on Wednesdays is basically he was saying he got to go to the car auctions and stuff to basically sell the product, to the different, dealerships and people buying stuff from the auctions and stuff, like car stuff, basically saying that's what he used to do on Wednesdays. So, mind you, this is all on Wednesday. So Thursday, texts us and tells me and Scorpio that she told our manager what she told us because she was starting to feel bad. Bitch, you feel bad. What does that have to do with us? Just tell him you feel bad about what y'all are doing. You gonna tell her, yeah, I told Taylor and Scorpio, so I just feel so bad. Bitch, we didn't have nothing to do with that. Like, didn't I say Bennett and not in it? So when she told us that, we just like, this is why we ain't come over your house on Wednesday, like, or Tuesday. Like, bro, you weird. Like, why would you do that? We didn't say nothing. Like, little do you know, he trying to talk to somebody else anyway at our job. Like, bro, I wasn't finna say Bennett not in it. So she told him that, right? So Friday, it gets to that was on Thursday when she told him. Friday, we go through the work day. It's straight. But he did something that was so weird. He calls me in the office, and at this point, I already got two different stories in my head, and I know what she told him. So I'm like, dang, he's finna basically say like, I don't know if this man finna I don't know basically I don't know like how he's finna confront me because I don't know if he think I'm trying to like blackmail him, but like I ain't asked for this information. I wasn't gonna say nothing with the information. So he called me to his office. He's like, hey. I'm like, hey. He was like, everything going good? I'm like, yeah, everything's straight. Like at this point, I need you to know I don't need no kind of help. So I'm like, yep, everything good. It's really easy. Like it's easy. He like, oh, okay. He was like, yes. He was like, so where do you live? Strike one. You shouldn't be asking me where I live. And it's like I was younger back then, so I didn't even know. Like I should have been like, why? But I was just like, oh, I live with my mom. He was like, oh, you don't want to move out? I was like, nah, shit. I was like, mama don't give me no issue. She cool. Like she's straight. I save money. Like I'm chilling. Why? He was like, oh, okay. He was like, cause if you want an apartment, I can get you an apartment. But basically, it would have to be a 2-bedroom because he thinks at this point me and I said her name. So at this point, he think that me in trouble, or like this because she done told me all her deepest, darkest secrets and all that. So he thinking, oh, you don't have a place of your own, but trouble over here has a boyfriend at her house, and I have a wife at my house. So why don't I pay to put you in a spot so I can see my girl whenever, and I'm just supposed to do. I was just like, oh my God. So immediately after that, I'm like, oh no, this is some weird stuff. And he already knew by like my tone. I was like, no, like I'm good. I'm staying at my mama house. Like, I'm staying at 123. That's my mama lane. Like, what? Bye. So he noticed I wasn't really with that. So at that point, I think that's when he started shaking his boots because after the work day that on Friday, he fired me. He basically told the staffing agency that hired me to basically end my assignment. And whenever I had went home on Friday, I had already talked to my mom about it because I'm like, this is because the staffing agency called me on my way home from work on Friday, and they was like, hey, they was like, we just wanted to we want to go ahead and talk to you on Monday if that's okay. Before you clock in or anything, just give us a call. Basically, just call us. Basically, like I'm like, okay, that's weird. So I'm thinking like they want to talk about it with me. Like I'm like, I don't even want to know this information. Why do they, So basically on Monday, that's the crazy thing. They waited the whole weekend to tell me. But anyways, so on Monday morning, they basically like, oh, okay, your assignment ended. And, we kind of just wanted to see what happened. I'm like, I don't know what happened. But mind you, over the weekend, I already talked to my mom about it. Like, this stuff is weird. Like, and she like, yeah, that is, basically like, I don't know what they want to talk to you about. Basically, whatever you feel, Taylor. If they come at you and you feel like you need to tell them what's going on, tell them what's going on. Like, it is what it is. Whatever makes you happy. So I'm like, all right. I'm like, but in my head, I'm like, I'm even telling her, I'm like, yeah, I don't even want to know this information. So like, I don't even care. So basically, yeah, they end my assignment. So at this point, I'm like, I know exactly what's going on. You saw I wasn't with y'all little plan. So, and I already knew about it. So you thinking we might as well fire her now. So that's exactly what happened. Retaliation. So, she was like, yeah, I don't know. She was like, it didn't even say a reason. I said, well, I'll tell you. I said, he's sitting up there messing with everybody. I said, I ain't going for it. So I got to get out. And she was like, wait, what? So, at that point, they hear that and their ears go up. You would think they take it seriously. No. So basically, I get another call like probably 5 minutes later after I done told them everything. I get a text from Scorpio, and another lady at the staffing agency, I guess, was assigned to her, and she get a call talking about her assignment in both of us. So mind you, she told this man that she told us they business last week. Now, mind you, we didn't ask her. So now he fires us literally the next week, like a couple days actually next. So she texts me, she pissed. I'm like, hey, don't worry about it. I got both of us. I'm on with her right now. We gonna see exactly who, cause what? Like we wasn't even on that. But now, oh yeah, like I said, at this time this was the most I've ever made. So at this point y'all are playing with me. All because the blabbermouth over there. Like, no, I ain't going. So yeah, basically we was just like, shit, we gonna tell it all. Like, if I'm gonna tell it, then I'm gonna tell it. That was us. Cause we got the game all messed up. So we basically like telling her exactly what it is. And I'm like, hey, I got something better for you. I got text messages of this man basically asking me for an apartment, to like, that's why I'm like, that's weird. And she's like, oh my God, right? I'm thinking they really gonna do something about it. I'm like, yep, extended stay Wednesdays, right? Mind you, where our job was, there was literally an extended stay. Y'all ready for this? 0.1, not 1 mile, not even half a mile, 0.1. So really, it could have been like a couple of feet away from the job, and y'all still didn't believe me. So basically, that all happened on Monday. Tuesday, I heard that he basically texted everybody, and so I heard this like later on down the line because of what happened. And I'm gonna keep going. So basically, on Tuesday, he brought everybody into the office early to basically coach them on what to say. Right? Coach them on what to say. When I tell you, even Shady acted like she didn't know what I was talking about. When I say, yeah, he approached somebody else, I said, and she told me about it randomly. I was just like, oh, okay. So I had like, like more than one person. So I thought was a witness. The only person who was real was me and Scorpio, because we was like, but at the time we were the only ones who lost our jobs. So we were the only people who were like affected by it. So Shady's like, so Shady was basically not trying to get into it, I guess, because she didn't even like, basically say what's going on until she got fired. So basically, yeah, so he coached them on what to say. So on Wednesday, after HR does their stupid ass report, they basically come back and tell us, oh, I'm sorry, we didn't find anything, blah, blah, blah. But if you want to dispute it, you can dispute it. Let TWC, unemployment, blah, blah, blah. Bye. I'll just find something else because y'all got too much dip on your chip. Y'all doing too much. So probably it didn't even take that long. That's the crazy thing. So at this point, me and my friend just like, yeah, some fucked up shit. Like, we not even like that. Like I said, we didn't even want to know that information, blah, blah, blah. You got blabbermouth and you just telling him willy-nilly stuff. Whatever. So, probably like 2 weeks later, staff and agency called us, right? I'm like, these motherfuckers better have an assignment. And they didn't. They basically like, hey, we really need to talk to you. Shady got, fired, and she's basically corroborating with your story, and she's saying that you're right, and blah, 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 right? 2 days later. Trouble, same thing. She calls me, but the kicker part about this, her boyfriend is a lawyer. Y'all hear me? Lawyer. That's what he is. He a lawyer. So she's like, yeah, we gonna get him. I'm like, wait, pause. So you had to tell your boyfriend what was going on so he can represent us? Like, bruh, that should be a story time of hers and her own time. Because what, girl? The time you had to tell your man you was cheating on him with your pastor married boss so he could represent you in the case because he ended up firing you. What? That's a title for your ad. But anyways, so yeah, so I'm just like, let me call you back. So I didn't even call her back, but you know who called me? Scorpio. Scorpio called me because she like, hey, did Trouble, she call you? And I'm like, yeah, she called me. She called and she like, what you think? I'm like, oh, whatever you want. Like at this point, we already at this point had like probably had like interviews and stuff lined up. So we were starting to be like, you know what, forget them. Like it is what it is, all that. But her boyfriend ends up calling us because I guess she realized like, okay, maybe they should talk to you. We're not on the best of terms right now. No, bitch, because you got us fired. So we're really not. So he ends up calling. And, you know, I get to looking him up and stuff. I'm like, okay, I'm seeing he got his own, like, his own office and shit. So I'm like, oh, okay. All right. So he called. He's like, yeah, that's retaliation. So what we're going to do is we're going to do blah, 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 A, B, C, 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 D, 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 D. And I'm just like, that's funny how y'all need me. Like, back then they didn't want me. Now y'all fired. Y'all want me. Like, what? No. Like, I'm sorry. I'm just thinking about it. Like, they really called me back to say, basically, you're lying. Your story didn't check out. What do you mean? How? But, like, it's crazy because I did not know all of that, like I said, until, like, 2 weeks later, whenever they got fired. They ended up being like, yeah, so what happened that day is he actually, you know, told us to come into the office, and then he told us that he would pay us this or blah, 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 to keep our story right, blah, blah. I'm like, wow. And the crazy thing is y'all bent, like, y'all really went for that. I'm sorry, I got a conscience. I just would have been like, this is bad. Like I said, even when she told me the information, that's why I didn't want to know. Because I'm like, bro, why would you tell me this? Like, now I can't look at you the same Orden. Like, bruh. But anyway, so she like, yeah, that's what really happened that day. And that's why they didn't do nothing. Because we basically said that y'all was all full of shit. I'm like, hey, why would y'all do that? I don't know. But that happened, and it ended up working out for the best though, because the lawyer was about his stuff. Because Pastor Cheetah had to end up paying us like, I don't know what it was. I think he was paying us like basically like we was still working. Like, mind you, so at this point we're working, but like basically blackmailing this man like, hey, I ain't get I ain't get my cash app this week. Like, send it to my cash app. You know, I had a whole contract and everything. Like, you're gonna pay us for our pain. And the crazy thing is I don't even like once it got to him, I didn't even have to deal with nothing. I signed a paper for him to represent me, and then that was it. But like, and then he signed another paper basically saying, "Oh, is this okay? Do you agree to this?" And I'm like, "Yeah, that's cool." Like, I didn't even know I was gonna get that. I really just wanted him to lose his job, you know. But and so that actually ended up happening, and the company ended up going out of business because he was actually really good at what he did because he used to like sell cars for a long time too and stuff. So it was like he had a good business around the car business, but it was like once you got, and so that was really like his best role that he's had, and then just like that knocked you down because you want to be like that. But yeah, y'all, so that's the story time about how, oh Lord, I'm gonna put this together. Okay, let me see. So yeah, that is the story time about how I got fired because my coworker was messing with my pastor manager, Mary. Yeah, Mary Boss. That's exactly what it was. So yeah, go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe, y'all, to the channel. Yeah, and then I always say that like, comment, and subscribe, and I just see views. Crazy, right? All right, bye, y'all.